There's one person that I will never forgive, and that's Thomas Edison. Bro is not only a supervillain, he's also the reason why we have energy bills today. Now, I'm sure by now we all know Nikola Tesla, the guy who made the coil, crazy hair, lightning bolts. Yeah, this man ended up making some of the most powerful enemies in the world and ended up dying broke and blacklisted despite creating an invention that would give the entire world free electricity. Bro invented this thing called the Wandercliff machine, something like that. And it was basically a giant mushroom-shaped dome that would just give electricity to anybody with a receiver. So he approaches a company called JP Morgan. Yes, that JP Morgan, and asked them for some funding so that he can get a prototype, right? They granted, they're curious. But they had one question for him, which was, how are we going to charge for it? Tesla, thinking he about to solve world problems, is like, that's the kick. It'll be free. Absolutely no one is impressed. They want to put a meter on this thing and tells Tesla that if he doesn't do it, they're pulling the funding. Now, I know based on the timeline, you might assume that, there wasn't power in homes by the time this guy created this shit. But there was, and the original grid was created by Thomas Edison. Bro was the father of commercialized electricity. So when Tesla came trying to stick his nose in places, Edison got an idea that was just the beginning of the debauchery. So before Nikola even had his idea for his own machine, he became obsessed with Edison's DC generators, which was the foundation of the first grid that they placed in Manhattan in, I think it was 1882. And mind you, Edison is known for stealing people's ideas and then completely destroying them after he's done. So when Tesla said hey bro, I know how to make your machines efficient. We can reach more homes over a longer distance if you just make a few improvements. Edison agreed that if he could do it, he would pay him $50,000. Mind you, that's millions of dollars in today's currency. So of course, he gets to work. Bro hands over the proposed improvements as promised. And what does Edison do? Laughs directly in his face and says, "You don't understand American humor." He never pays him. Literally just cuts ties and goes along his merry way. I don't know about you, but I would have been absolutely devastated. But Nikola takes it on the chin and he gets to work on his own generator. And his invention has a really interesting concept where they would dig these towers 120 feet deep into the earth, using the planet itself to wirely transmit this energy, which is exactly why he felt like it should be free. It was a planetary resource. But if we know anything about capitalism, they gonna want their piece. Tesla originally requests the funding without worrying about the meter. He is heavy in his bag and finally has a prototype. He would go around doing these presentations, showing people that he could light up 25 lamps in a room using nothing but this machine. And in comparison to the DC energy, his power source would have a longer range, allowing him to power homes with one tower over 25 miles. Whereas Edison's machine needed a generator on every block. JP is ecstatic. They're ready to get the ball rolling. How much more do you need so that we can get started? They go into negotiations, and that's where the question comes up. If we make this thing, how are we going to charge the public? And Tesla's answer, you can't. Anyone with a receiver can just draw from this infinite source, sending JP on an absolute warpath. Morgan's entire interest was based upon owning and controlling the world's first global communications network, the first wireless communications network. So when he gave him that $150,000 investment, he did so fully intending to put a price on it. So not only did he pull his original investment, he also told every investor on Wall Street not to touch him. And our boy JP had reach. Being blacklisted by him was like being blacklisted by all of America. Why? Because this is the man who personally bailed out the United States government in 1895 with his own funds. So yeah, that should have been it, but it gets even worse. Because see, the issue is, this man just invented something that is a threat. It is a threat to capitalism. It is a threat to the current energy companies. So there's no way they can let this get out to the public. So everyone's in a mind state that this person is an enemy to the standing powers that be. They didn't know how they were going to do it, but they were definitely going to limit how much the public knew about this invention. So boom, one day Edison goes to JP Morgan to try to get some more monies. Why? Because he wanted to build another power station in Manhattan and ends up finding out about what's been going on with our boy Tesla. Like, Nikola's already moved on living his life, and Edison is low-key still obsessed with this person, feeling like, he's coming for his crown. So he decides to take advantage of the rah-rah and like go on a smear campaign to like down Tesla's invention. Edison decides to hire a guy named Harold to like go around and just like electrocute animals. We're talking dogs, calves, any animal that could really rile up the community's sympathy, all to sway public opinion towards his DC generator. His whole thing was that the AC generators would create these lightning bolts, and that because it was wireless, it was dangerous. Whole time, Edison's invention was the one that was dangerous. It was so poorly done that like it would start fires regularly. Like, bro even accidentally set JP Morgan's house on fire and proceeds to take it even a step further. He somehow gets prisons to start using the AC electricity in electric chairs, making Tesla's invention synonymous with executions. Like, what type of supervillainery? But the final nail in the coffin had to be the public electrocution of Topsy the elephant, a beloved show animal that, he used to again say that Tesla's invention was dangerous. Now, what happens to Nikola from here is just sad, because he's blacklisted, he's broke, everybody thinks he's a madman, and all bro wants to do is participate in science. He ends up dying alone January of 1943 in room 3327 of a New York hotel. And his only friends were the pigeons that visited his window. Like, bro, what? And bro had to still be under observation, because even though he had no one, within hours of his death, the US government shows up to his hotel room, seizes all of his assets, all of his documents, claiming it to be a wartime security concern, while both Edison and JP died filthy fucking rich. Tell me that's not the most tragic shit you've ever heard.